Hello everyone. Welcome back to Naz English Pods. If you want to speak English confidently, the most important thing is daily contact with the language. Not once a week, and not only when you feel motivated, but every single day, even if it's just for a few minutes. In today's video, I'm going to share a simple daily routine that can help you improve your English step by step. This routine has 3 parts: morning practice, afternoon practice, and evening practice. The routine is very simple and practical. You don't need expensive courses, and you don't need to spend hours studying grammar. What you really need is discipline. Discipline means continuing your practice regularly, even on days when you feel lazy, tired, or distracted. If you follow this routine every day, your English will slowly become stronger. Not overnight and not magically, but little by little, day by day. Before we start, if you enjoy learning English in a simple and natural way, don't forget to like this video and share it with a friend who is also learning English. This helps more people practice English every day. Now, let's begin with the first part of the routine. Morning English activation. The morning is a very important time for learning. When you wake up, your brain is fresh and ready to absorb new information. However, many learners make a common mistake. As soon as they wake up, they start checking social media, reading messages, or scrolling on their phones. Instead, try to start your day with English activation. But what does activation mean? Activation means waking up your English brain and preparing it to use the language during the day. This morning practice should take only 10 to 20 minutes, but it can be very powerful. First, choose a short piece of English audio. It could be a podcast, a short conversation, a simple story, or a short English lesson. The important thing is that it should be easy enough to understand. When something is easy to understand, we call it comprehensible input. This means your brain understands most of what you hear. Now listen to the audio 2 times. The first time, just listen. Don't pause the audio. Don't translate every word. Just relax and let your brain get used to the sound of English. The second time, listen more carefully. Pay attention to how the speaker connects words, how sentences flow, and how ideas are expressed. If you hear a new word, don't panic. Often you can understand the meaning from the context. Context means the words and sentences around it. For example, someone might say, "I was exhausted after work. I was very tired, so I fell asleep on the sofa." Even if you don't know the word exhausted, the next sentence tells you it means very tired. This is how natural language learning works. After listening twice, do one more thing. Say 3 or 5 simple sentences about your day in English. For example, today I will practice English. Today I will study for a few minutes. Today I will try to read something in English. Your sentences don't have to be perfect. The goal is activation. You are telling your brain, today we're going to use English. When you do this every morning, your brain slowly becomes more comfortable with the language. Afternoon deep practice. Now, let's move to the second part of the routine, which happens in the afternoon. This is the time for focused practice. Focused practice means you are giving your full attention to learning. This session can be 10, 20, or 30 minutes. It doesn't need to be 2 or 3 hours. Many people believe language learning requires very long study sessions. But in reality, short and consistent practice is much more effective than long and irregular study. Choose a short piece of English content. For example, a short podcast, a conversation, a story, or a lesson. Then follow these steps. Step 1. Listen carefully once and try to understand the main idea. Ask yourself, what is the speaker talking about? What is the main message? Step 2. If you have the text, read it. Reading helps your brain connect sounds with written words. Sometimes we hear words, but don't know how they are spelled. Reading helps solve this problem. Step 3. Practice shadowing. Shadowing is a very powerful technique. It means speaking at the same time as the speaker or immediately after them. Try to copy the pronunciation, rhythm, and natural flow of the language. Don't worry if it's not perfect. The goal is to train both your ears and your mouth. If you notice a new word or expression, look up its meaning and see how it is used in different sentences. Finally, try to explain the content in your own words. For example, this story was about a man who changed his habits. Or, the speaker talked about practicing English every day. This step is very powerful because it forces your brain to produce language, not just understand it. Evening reflection and expansion. Now, let's move to the third part of the routine, which happens in the evening. The evening session should be more relaxed. This is the time for reflection and expansion. Reflection means thinking about what you learned during the day. Expansion means adding a little more knowledge. This session can take about 15 to 20 minutes. First, review 3 words or phrases that you learned during the day. For example, maybe you learned the phrase to get used to something. This means something becomes normal or familiar for you. Now create a few sentences using this phrase. For example, I am getting used to speaking English every day. My brain is getting used to English sounds. At first it was difficult, but now I'm getting used to it. Creating your own sentences helps your brain truly remember the language. Second, write a short reflection in English. Just 4 or 5 sentences are enough. For example, today I practiced English in the morning and afternoon. I listened to a short story. Some words were new, but I understood them from context. I feel more confident today. Don't worry about grammar mistakes. Writing helps organize your thoughts and improves your memory. Finally, end your day with relaxed listening. Choose something enjoyable like a short story or a simple podcast. Don't study, just listen and relax. Your brain will naturally absorb the language. There is one final idea to remember. This routine works only if you follow it consistently. That is the real secret: discipline. Motivation comes and goes. Some days you feel excited, and some days you feel tired. But discipline means continuing your practice anyway. Even 10 minutes of practice is better than 0. When you practice every day, something interesting happens. Your brain starts to feel that English is part of your life, not just a subject to study. And when that happens, progress becomes much faster. So, remember this simple routine. Morning, activate your English. Afternoon, practice deeply. Evening, reflect, write, and listen. 3 small sessions that create one powerful habit. If you follow this routine for 6 months, your English will improve, not only your vocabulary and grammar, but also your confidence. And confidence is the key to speaking any language. Thank you so much for watching Naz English Pods. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it and share it with a friend who is learning English. Until next time, keep learning, keep practicing, and keep believing in yourself. Bye for now.